I'm Ger Fitzpatrick, VP of Engineering at Wayflyer. At Wayflyer, our mission is to give the world access to the best products by empowering great brands to reach their growth potential. I was a member of the founding team here. We launched almost 4.5 years ago. And over that time, we've gone from funding just a few e-commerce companies a month to having deployed over more than $3 billion in capital. At Wayflyer, our bread and butter is processing data from our customers to best understand their business, to best understand how we can help them solve their growth problems. When we first launched, we focused entirely on the e-com space, and one of the reasons we had moved into there was the richness of data that was available. When we started expanding out our target demographic to include larger customers and moving outside of just pure e-com, accounting data becomes a really critical thing to understand. When you're looking at just e-commerce data and you're pulling in from a handful of platforms, it becomes relatively straightforward. When you move outside of that and into the accounting world, it gets much more challenging. And in order to really scale, you have to move away from manually processing accounting data. So this had the impact at the start that we were getting slower, reviews were taking longer, customers were having to provide updated accounts, and quite a challenge. And so that's when we started looking at Codat. Let us really expand and scale our core offering by leveraging the accounting data integrations that you have. It also let us move into new segments of the e-com business. We started out with Shopify and Amazon, but very quickly we understood that there was a lot more customers we could reach if we could leverage the tooling that Codat had already built. As an engineering leader, one of the challenges that you continually have to manage is, do you build or do you buy? When we started out, we built out a few integrations. This was very important to us at the time, as we really needed to understand the data sources, what was available, etc., as we began building out our product. So for them, it was Amazon and Shopify. Over time, as we began to extend beyond just that core market of Shopify and Amazon into other spaces, there's an overhead from maintaining these integrations. And then as you go down to the segments which are perhaps not as big as Shopify, for example, and you really want to scale the business, that's when it starts to become very attractive to start working with a partner like Codat. Having built out our own initial integrations with platforms such as Shopify and Amazon, when it came time to start expanding out, one thing that becomes really attractive about Codat is just the wealth of different connections that you can plug in. And having built out a core system, we're now in a situation where we can scale by working with Codat. And what that means then, we're not consuming our product roadmap for a quarter building out a bunch of these integrations. We found with Codat that the build time is significantly faster. And what's more, we found the team at Codat to be very supportive and collaborative in both taking feedback and in giving us guidance as we build it out. So that's let us get to market a lot faster than if we had built it ourselves. Working with Codat has allowed us to improve our speed to market for our core offering to e-commerce customers by extending, for example, to BigCommerce and others. But it's also allowed us to move outside of just direct D2C and instead move into our wholesale offering, which has really helped us stand out in the market. These days, many e-commerce customers or companies are starting to move beyond just selling D2C and instead selling to retailers, etc. To move into this space, we can't be reliant on data from e-com platforms. It just doesn't exist. So instead, we're having to move more into the accounting space. Working with our customers, working with Codat, we've been able to really significantly increase our speed to market in this space. At Wayflyer, we've scaled very successfully over the last few years, mainly down to our incredible underwriting process. And with Codat, what we found is that what was already good has been improved significantly. So once we incorporated Codat into our processing flows, we've seen a significant decrease in data quality issues, down 30% relative to before, and a much quicker time to decision. So we're 20% faster than we were before we had Codat. From a customer perspective, they're getting a much better experience. Only have to connect once, rather than providing continual manual updates, and they're getting a quicker answer. So we've been in the lending space now for the last couple of years, and it's changed a lot. When we first launched, all the way back in early 2020, we had multiple competitors. Over time, the market's fallen away and there's far few left. One thing that's remained the truth that entire time is that we absolutely need to have the right data to guide your decision making. That's essential for everybody in this space. A trend that we are seeing is that large banks and some of the other platforms are beginning to pull back from the SMB lending space, which makes the work we do here at Wayflyer all the more important to continue providing financing to these kind of companies. In the next few months, we're going to continue to improve the customer experience here at Wayflyer by making the funding process smoother, more technology driven, and really empowering our customers to reach their full potential. One avenue that I'm particularly excited about is the improvements we're going to make to both our wholesale and Amazon offerings, which is going to really grow that offering.